This is an advisor tutorial on brush-ups, also known as a focus format property. They can enhance your analysis by telling you more specific and focused information about the data you're hovering over. By the end of this video, you'll understand why brush-ups are helpful to your analysis, and you'll be able to adjust your own. The advisor product we'll use is AnalystX, our desktop authoring software, and we'll be using a demo dashboard called Customers that ships with the software. Now, let's get started. Brush-ups are a helpful complement to any analyst toolkit. They add context and detailed information to your visualizations. For example, if I want to learn more about this outlier with a high margin and high revenue in this customer's chart, I can hover over and learn a set of information. This customer is in the construction industry, has a fairly large number of employees, and is based out of Albuquerque. Brush-ups and Advisor are also really helpful when you're slicing and dicing your data because they update with your selection. For example, if you want to know which region has the highest percentage of low revenue, low margin customers so you can take action, again, make your selection and then hover over each bar. We can see that the West makes up 41% of the revenue of the low margin, low revenue. The South makes up 24%, and the Midwest makes up 20%. Interesting. Every brush-up is completely customizable. You can add or remove lines in the brush-up, display axis values, display the value of other fields in the dashboard with different aggregations, and so on. Now that we're sold on the why, let's learn how to adjust our own brush-ups. I'd like to change the name company in this brush-up to customer ID so that I can be consistent with my customer data sheet below. I'd also like to add another measure, number of campaign responses. This way I can see how engaged my customers are. To do this, first we have to open the chart toolbar. Next, we have to click on the Advanced Chart Properties icon. This opens a whole set of options, but the one I'm interested in is this focus format string. This is a logic that shows the chart where to pull data from in the brush-up. I'm just going to select all and then copy it into a PowerPoint presentation so we can take a look at the syntax a little bit closer. Before we can adjust it, we have to understand it. Let's point to the different parts of the expression and talk about what they mean. In deep purple here, you can see the display name of the brush-up that the end user actually sees on the chart. We got company, city, industry, employees, revenue, and margin. Okay, that's straightforward enough. Next up, we have a whole chunk of teal here. All of the teal shows the field names whose data we want to display in the brush-up. Those are the field names that are in the data table itself. We also have these little gray tildes that just serve as an extra piece of syntax that lets the software know that you might have a space in your field name. We also have these pink here in these percentage marks. So these denotate the relative position of the field that we want to display in the brush-up within the expression. So as we can see, we have company first, which corresponds to customer ID. We have city, which corresponds to the second position here, city in teal. Third one, we have industry, corresponds to industry, and so on. Also, there is a piece of syntax here in orange that will denotate and let the software know that you want to start a new line in the brush-up. That way, we can keep our brush-up organized. The final thing that you have to understand in the syntax is that this bright blue here will encapsulate the full string displayed in the brush-up. So it's going to have the display name, relative position of the display name, a new line of the display name, and that also all is going to be encapsulated in this first part of the syntax here. All right. Now that we've marked this expression up, we can do some adjusting. We'll just type here inside the company portion of the string and call it customer ID instead. And then to add in a new field to our brush-up, there are two steps. First, we'll add in the field name of the campaign response at the end here. And then since there's a natural space in between the two words of the field name, we need to add this tilde in here in the middle to tell the software that it's two words. And then the last thing that we need to do is give it a display name. So I'm going to call this, there's N for new line. Field name should be campaign response, abbreviated like that. And then let's tell it to look in position 7 for the field name. All right, let's see how this works. Get back into the project. Paste this new logic in to the focus format string, and then see how it worked. All right, as you can see, now we have customer ID that's renamed from company to customer ID, and then we have a new field called campaign response. And looks like this customer really responded well to our campaign. We had 43 responses. Now, I know that there was a lot of information in a short period of time. If you'd like to review BrushUp syntax or learn about how to put different types of aggregations or field features in BrushUps, click the help icon at the top right corner of the dashboard and type focus format into the search bar. You'll get a nice help article on this topic. That's all for now. To recap, in this video we talked about why BrushUps are useful parts of your analysis and advisor and how to adjust them. Thanks for joining.